Good morning, everyone. It is my first market of the season, and yes, it's still dark out. I have to be there at 7. It is 7 now, but the doors don't open until 9 o'clock, so that's why I'm leaving a little later. And also, it's not that far away from me, so I'm going to continue to pack up and head out in about 5-10 minutes. Alright, I am here in the parking lot. I have to walk all the way around, but I will see you guys when I'm all set up. So this is, I bring this because I want to take down all the cash payments that I have for the day. So far I have 2 on the day. And then I also bring my simple inventory sheet so that I can just mark off what I sold for the day. So it makes it easier to put it into inventory when the time comes. But I am here and I am all set up as you saw. I am by the door. It is a little cold, but that's okay. I want it to be near the door for the candle's sake. But yeah, the market just started and I am just waiting for more people to come in because people have already came in. I want to see if I can use my mic today when I'm not ringing up people. So I hope it's charged. I'm not sure if it is, but I hope it's charged. So my mic is not working. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I don't want to talk too loud because I don't want to disturb other vendors, but my mic is not working. So I think I forgot to charge it up. But I will check in with you guys a little later and let you know how the market is going. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but yeah, just sitting here waiting. I try to put the camera over here, but it's like so much light behind me that it's kind of blurring me out. But I've just been sitting here waiting for people to come in, and I did get some information on some craft fairs out there, and I don't know if this part is going to make it into the video. This might be a quick little video this week, but we'll see. But so far I've made 4 sales and it is 10:30, I believe. It's like 10:30, almost 11 o'clock. So I've made 4 sales for the day so far, and we just have some more hours to go. I will check in with you guys later. Welcome back, everyone, and it is time for the recap of the first market that I did this season. Now, I have my notes right here in my notebook, like I always do, and I have my phone so that I can get the numbers off of it of how much I made and share it all with you guys. Now, with all of that being said, let's hop right into this market. So, this is, yes, the first market of the season for me. And I was kind of on the fence with it because when it was announced in my community chat a month ago. Yeah, it was about a month ago. It was last month when it was announced. I was kind of on the fence as to whether or not I was going to sign up for it. It was close by to me. It was about like a 25-minute Uber ride. So I'm like, am I going to sign up for this or not? And I ended up letting the deadline pass to sign up. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to. I'm just going to hit the markets that I did last year. And I'm also going to look on Eventbrite to find others. So I missed the deadline signing up for this one. But then something told me, hey, sign up for it anyway because it's something different. It's not like the big markets that you did last year, and it also opens you up to other people, other spaces. So I ended up sending an email to the coordinator and asking her if she could put me on her wait list. Now, fast forward to the week of the event, and I get an email probably about 3 or 4 days before the event, and she said, hey, we're opening up the parish hall because the event was taking place in the gym. They had a big gym because it is a Catholic church and a Catholic school combined. And they wanted to open up their parish hall for extended vendors. So she said, we have about 20 to 25 more spaces. Are you interested? And I said yes, because one, I wanted to get my feet back into doing markets. And two, I wanted to see what it was like to do these type of markets because I feel when you do markets that are like at local churches and things like that or community centers, it's different than the ones that are like big and massive or the street fairs that go on. So I said, yeah, sure, I'll sign up. I have no problem doing it. And that, she ended up sending me over the information and I paid the vendor's fee, which was heaven sent because it was only $75. I don't think I'll ever hit $75 again for a vendor's fee here in the city. And she sent me over the instructions for the day. Now, the doors did open at 7 a.m. for the vendors, and for the actual people, the customers and people coming in, it opened at 9 a.m. So it figures because Catholic churches usually, the service is usually about an hour. And if the first service is at 8, we open at 9, then we're open just as they're coming out of service. I should know, I grew up Catholic. So I know the service. I know in my old church, the service ran for an hour. So I figured it's not going to take me that long to set up my table. Well, I ended up leaving a little later and I got there at 8 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock. Now, the reason why you guys didn't see any prep video is because, of course, it was at the last moment and I didn't have time to fully prep anything. But the good thing is, I had a bunch of inventory left over, so I took what I needed with me. The only thing I made was two peaceful Paloma diffusers to take with me because I didn't have any at all. Now the day of the market, I did end up waking up around 6:30 and got myself all ready to go for the day. I ended up leaving probably around, I want to say I left around 7:20, either 7:15 or 7:20. Because I ended up getting there a little, probably about 1 or 2 minutes after 8 a.m. So I ended up, I keep saying I ended up. So I got there when I got there to get ready to set up. First of all, there was nobody outside of the church where the cab dropped me off at. He dropped me off like on the side of the church. And I ended up walking to the front, which wasn't that walk far of a walk. I ended up walking to the front to see if anybody was there to like point me in the direction of the parish hall. There was nobody there. So I saw people going in for service, but there was nobody there to direct me, which is something that she did say there would be people there to direct vendors where to go. So luckily for me, I ended up seeing one of the ladies that did work at the church, and I asked her and she directed me, and I had to go around to the back of the church and the school. So once I got back there still was no one to direct me as to where to go. So I went to the first door that I saw open, which was ended up being the parish hall. I figured it was because it was too small to be a gym, but it was too big to be anything else. So I went in there, and when I went in there were people already set up. Some were still setting up, and I just asked one of the vendors. She had a bit of an attitude, which okay, but I asked one of the vendors, "Hey, who do I speak to about table assignments, about where I should go?" And she told me that I had to find someone in the gym, which the parking lot was right here, and the parish hall was on this side of the parking lot, and then the gym was on this side of the parking lot. So it's like an L shape. So I went outside, I left my stuff there. I went outside to see if I could find anyone who looked like they worked there. So I ran into this gentleman and I asked him, and he said he was going to send somebody over. Took a couple of minutes. He sent over this lady, Mary, and she just helped me pretty much pick out a table. There was no assigned tables. You pretty much just picked where you want it to be at. So I ended up picking the table near the door, which I ended up regretting as the market went on, and I began to set up. The problem with me setting up was I had a 8 foot table, which she did say there were it was the possibility of them having 8 foot tables or 8 feet tables. And I she never confirmed whether or not, and I think that's on my part as well because I really didn't ask her beforehand so that I could be prepared. But they all were 8 foot tables, and I only had a 6 foot tablecloth with me. So I left my 8 foot one here at the apartment, which I was definitely upset with. So I quickly called my sister and asked her if she can find my 8 foot tablecloth and come to the event to drop off the tablecloth. And we're going back and forth, and then something told me to just ask the vendor that was set up next to me, and she was like, "I have a spare tablecloth if you want to use it." I'm like, "Oh, thank God." Thank God. So I ended up telling my sister that she didn't have to come, and everything was set. The lady helped me put the tablecloth, and she was so nice. Her and her daughter was so nice. And they ended up helping me put the tablecloth on the table, and I began setting up, trying to figure out what I was going to put up there because it is an 8 foot table. Good thing for me, I ended up bringing my tote bags, which I sold none of them. I ended up setting them up in the spare space as you saw in the video, and it pretty much filled up the whole table, which was perfect. I didn't get much footage of the event because we were really all in one room, and that whole pan of the room that I did, well, the as far as I could, that was pretty much the market right there. That was our space right there. But I was in Parish Hall with probably 8 other vendors, and then all the other vendors were inside the gym. So once 9 o'clock started, we all were pretty much set up. I think maybe there was one vendor that came a little late. She was nice too. She came a little late and she was still like putting the finishing touches on her table. But we were all pretty much set up and we were just waiting for the people to come in and the view what we had. So I sat there and waited. I think I got my first sell of the day, my first and my second sell of the day around 9:30 a.m. So it wasn't bad. Had to wait a half an hour to get my first sell, and as my rule from last year, as long as I get my first one, then my anxiety goes down and I'm able to be comfortable for the rest of the day unless something hectic happens. But I got my first sale at 9:30 and my second one around the same time. And then the market pretty much was at a standstill because the traffic flow into the parish hall wasn't as much as it was in the gym. So the majority of the people that went to the market were in the gymnasium. And when one of the vendors went over there to look to check and see, like, hey, why isn't anyone really coming over here? He came back and reported to us that it is jam packed in the gymnasium. Like, you could barely move in there. So I'm like, oh, great. Just great. So there really wasn't any coordinator to like direct people across the parking lot to come into the parish hall to like see us sitting there waiting for people to come in. It seems like all the coordinators just stayed in the gym, and from time to time, one would come over and check and see how we were doing. One of them, actually, the lady Mary, actually came in and said, hey, how are you guys doing over here? And we're sitting there, and I think I put footage of it. There was like practically nobody in there. There was probably like one or two people in there with us. That was the whole vibe of the market. There were at times some people that came in, but it wasn't nearly as much as the people that were going into the gym. And I think halfway through the market, they ended up going out and getting balloons and putting them at the entrance of the parish hall, which there was like four stairs and the rail, and they put it there. But it really didn't do much. Some of us did make sales, but I felt bad because a couple of us did not, and there was like big setups and everything there. So that was pretty much the vibe of the traffic in there. There really wasn't much. We were pretty much there to fend for ourselves. It was a little disappointing that at least have like a coordinator or somebody there to be at the door. I understand that it was chilly that day, and people don't want to stand out in the cold, but to like at least every 15 minutes or so just come over or to usher people over. There was two ladies that were in charge, and they mostly stayed inside the gym. So it's like not I don't want to say it was a bad experience, but it wasn't the experience that I expected. And yeah, it is definitely a learning lesson. Now to get to the part of the video, and that is how many sales did I make for the day and what did I bring home for the day. All right, so I have my Square information here. And despite what was going on as far as the market goes and the vibe of the market goes and it being a little uncoordinated, I did make sales for the day. I was one of the vendors in the parish hall that did make sales, and I ended up making 11 sales on the day, and my gross sales was $137. Now, I did not have a top seller for the day. The purchases were pretty much all over the place. But if I had to rank products itself, I would have to say it was candles, then wax melts, and then room sprays, and then diffusers. I did sell one peaceful paloma, so I'm glad I ended up making them in the end. And the crazy thing is something that I experienced for the first time was all my sales on a day were paid in cash. I didn't use my Square reader not once for the day, which I'm kind of upset about a little bit because I did have my new sign on the table and I have my setup ready to go. And the one day that I didn't have to have my Square in my hand, it wasn't even used for the day. So I'm not gonna knock it or anything. I am happy for the purchases, and I'm glad that people did make a purchase and that they enjoyed my products. So, yeah, I ended up making my vendor fee back and making one of my cab rides back. So, It is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. But I'm happy that I did make the sales that I made for the day. So overall, the market was okay. It was an experience for me. I wish it was better coordinated. I wish it was better put together. And I wish they would have paid more attention to us in the parish hall as they did in with the vendors in the gym. I think it would have been a better market if we all were able to enjoy the experience of having a good traffic flow, because there were a lot of people there. I kept getting people saying, "Oh, there's so many more people in the gym." So it would have been nice if we were not left to fend for ourselves in this market, and that the coordinators actually came over more often and tried to usher people across the parking lot, because it really wasn't that far of a walk. It was like a little walk and you're into the parish hall. But it was an experience. It showed me what these type of markets look like and what to expect. I got some good information from it. I got to speak to people that were there. I spoke to this couple towards the end about my business and how I got started, and he ended up coming back and purchasing a candle. So I was happy for that. Some of the vendors did pack up before the time was over, so the event ran from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and some of the vendors packed up an hour and a half, including the lady next to me, packed up an hour and a half before the market ended. I don't think there was any penalty or restriction or anything for it, so we lost probably about three vendors. Yeah, three vendors packed up and was out of there before the market was over. The rest of us pretty much stayed, and I thought about it and I started to pack up a little before the time was over myself, because at that point nobody was really coming into the hall at all. We were just sitting there staring at each other and staring at the walls. Oh, and the lady, I got a free tablecloth. I got a free tablecloth, 8 foot tablecloth, which now have too many tablecloths. But the lady that allowed me to borrow hers, she ended up saying that I can keep that one. She really just wanted to get out of there, but I was going to move my stuff and take the tablecloth off and just have everything sit on the table. But she said I can keep the tablecloth. I offered to give her something for it. She said no. I never want to take anything from someone. If I can offer you something in return for it, I definitely would offer money or something like that for, an exchange product, money in exchange for it. But she allowed me to keep it. I do have to wash it. It's in good condition. So I was I was thankful for that. I was thankful that she had it and I was able to use it that day. So yeah, that was the market at the church. I don't know, I don't feel disappointed. I just feel like it's an experience to learn from, and moving forward, I will definitely do more of those markets. I would probably even go to that one once they've established themselves a little bit better and are able to move more effectively. Then yeah, I would definitely try that one again. But that was pretty much it for this market recap. I know I went a little longer than I wanted to, but yeah, it was definitely an experience. It was a nice kickoff to my market season, because in May I'm pretty much booked. I think I have one weekend off. I have one weekend off, and as I'm recording this, I have a week and a half to get the products done and to figure out what I'm taking. There's new products that's coming with me. Well, they're old scents, but they're in a different form and they're coming with me. There are two candles that are ready to go finally, and Mahogany Nights is one of them. So I cannot wait. I'm just waiting for my jars to show up so that I can make them. And I will be showing you guys that whole process. But I have in May a lot of markets. I'll probably tell you guys in the next video exactly how many I have, but I am pretty much booked in May, and then I have a market in June and a market in July. So I have some stuff coming up for you guys. I know you guys like to see the market videos. I have those. I'm going to try and figure out how to make them better and improve on them and show you guys some of the markets that I'm doing. It's crazy because two of them are actually street fairs and there's going to be a lot of people there. So I don't know how to prep for those. I don't know how to prep for those. But the other ones I do know how to prep for. But I don't know how to prep for those. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But there's a lot of stuff that I've been working on behind the scenes to improve my small business, like my branding and my look and my feel. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. And what's coming ahead is market times. It is market season for me finally. So that was it for this video here. I don't want to keep talking and talking, but it was an experience. I am glad that I had the experience because I always take something away from every market that I do, no matter how the outcome is at the end. I always take something away, and it gets me thinking of what I can improve on, what I can look for, and how I can put myself out there more. So, that was it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more, then go ahead and hit that like button, share, comment, and also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It does help my channel out a lot, as well as hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when the next new video comes out. Now I'm going to edit this part of the video, and this will come out today as I'm recording it. Actually, it'll come out tomorrow. I'm recording it today, editing it today, so that it could be out tomorrow. So when you see it, it'll already be out. But I'm going to do that, and then I still have to map out what I'm going to take to this next market that I'm doing in a week and a half. Yes, I let the cat out the bag. I have a market next week, next Saturday. That is the first market in May. But I will be talking about more of that in the next video. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. And don't forget to show yourself a little more appreciation. So until next time, this is Tammy saying, take care, everyone.